What's up everyone, my name is Max with Maximize Your Cooking and I want to show you how to make some Pico De Gallo. I'm not going to fill you with too much introductory stuff, so let's get going making some salsa. You really don't have to be too specific with your ingredients. I mean, I'm pretty much eyeballing all this. Salsa, especially Pico De Gallo, you can kind of eyeball it and just add things to your liking basically. I'm going to be using 4 Roma tomatoes. I'm going to seed them, chop them up. I'm going to use about half of that big onion over there. I'll use about 5 sprigs or so of cilantro, about a tablespoon of lime juice, or about 1 lime, and I got a big garlic clove that I'll mince up, and a little pinch of sugar over there. Okay, I got all my tomatoes seeded out, and I got a glass bowl here. Any bowl is totally cool. I'm just gonna dice these up into little cubes. That's all you really gotta do with the tomatoes. I mean, chances are you've probably seen or been around Pico De Gallo before. You know what the tomatoes should be looking like inside that salsa, so just cut it to try and look like that. You can see just cubes like that. That's all. You just gotta dice your tomato and throw all those tomatoes into the bowl. Okay, I got my tomatoes all chopped up. They're in the bowl. I'm gonna this is 5 sprigs of cilantro. Just coarsely chop these. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy. Throw those in there. Okay, so I have a red onion here. If you want to use a white onion, but I like the taste of red onion in my Pico De Gallo. I already got the skin off, but if you're having trouble getting the skin off, it's best to take the ends off, and then, or at least leave half of the end on, and then you can pull off the top sections of the onion. But I'm just gonna cut this right in half. Don't think I'll need much more than that. I can assure you I am crying quite heavily right now from these onions. Ugh. Whew. Well, anyway, once you have your onion all chopped up, and just go in with a handful. You might not need all of it. I'm thinking I probably won't need quite all of it. I'd say about half a cup is good, and I'm nearing about half a cup there. I'm going to put this to the side, add more. I'm going to leave it here in case I find I want my ratio to be a little bit more oniony. And you can do that with any of the ingredients that go into this Pico De Gallo. So next up, I got my garlic here. Any of these ingredients doesn't really have to go in order, as long as you just add them all together. But I like to squash it a little bit, cautiously though, so I don't cut myself. And that really helps to remove the casing that goes around the garlic. And then this is going to be minced. If you have a garlic press, go ahead, that's great. You should use that to mince up your garlic. Once you have your garlic nicely minced, you can go ahead and throw it into the bowl. And this is going to be running out to about maybe a couple teaspoons of garlic. This was a slightly large clove that I used. Next up, I got my jalapeno. You know, I could wear gloves for this. Depends how sensitive you are to peppers, but just don't touch your eyes afterwards. What I do with my jalapenos, I cut the top off and then I split it down the middle. And then I go in over a sink or garbage, doesn't really matter, and I peel that off a little bit, and then I just rip it off into the garbage. It'll look like that, and then I just take my knife and kind of open and flatten this out, and I just peel it, try to get the knife tip in there and take away the seeds, because Pico De Gallo usually isn't supposed to be so spicy. It's a milder type of salsa. But if you want, it's totally cool to make it as spicy as you like. Once you remove the seeds of your jalapeno, mince up the jalapeno pretty small. If you want, you can make it thicker, little thicker pieces, but I like my jalapeno minced in there. Okay, it should look like that. Pretty small pieces. And you can throw that into your bowl. So I'm finished with my cutting board. Most of the ingredients are in there. I'm just going to finish off here. A couple pinches of some sugar. Just to kind of sweeten it up a little bit. This is optional. And then about a tablespoon of some lime juice. And maybe a quarter teaspoon of some salt, just a little dash. And all you gotta do is mix it around. So once you finish mixing it all around, one thing is, if the salsa gets to sit and be together for longer, there'll be more flavors, it'll all mix in. It'll taste a little better, and it's a good idea to put it in the fridge and let that do that. Also store it in the refrigerator as well. But before I do all that, I want to give this a try and see if there's anything I might want to add. That's pretty good. I think it just needs a little bit more salt. So, I'm going with that and then remix it in. Like I said, salt to taste doesn't... You can do all this stuff to taste. It doesn't have to be super exact. These are just some generic ingredients that should go into a Pico De Gallo. And there you have it, folks. That is how you make some homemade Pico De Gallo. Thank you for watching.